Hey guys, it's me. So anyway, I just got back in from taking Kane outside to take the dog out. Oh my goodness. I think it's getting colder outside right now. And every time it gets colder out, I swear to you, this dog knows that it's getting cold out. He loves the cold weather, so he wants out like every 15 minutes. And I'm like, I'm done. No more. So we just went outside and I was like, that's it for the night. You, my dear, are cut off. So, I've just been like hanging out and watching some YouTube videos. I ran to the grocery store today. I ran to Walmart, and so I did do a Walmart haul when I got back, a real quick one. I got a lot of good deals while I was out, and I did get, there was two other things. We stopped at the junk store the other day, and I'm like, you know what, I am going to share these with my friends because I love them so much. You're probably like, what are you wearing? I have never had, I guess, what are these called, a poncho? I have never had a poncho before. Literally, this was a quarter. It was a quarter. It is so heavy. I'm not really, I'm not really sure what I think about the floral design right here. But this thing is so heavy. This is warmer than a winter coat, I think. So that's why I took Kane out and I wore this when I went out. But it was literally, it was a quarter. It was 25 cents I paid for it. And I love it. It's huge. It says it was one size fits all. You know, those one size fits all things, they don't fit me. I'm not all. I'm bigger than all. But because it's just like a blanket. Here, King, get off of that. Get off of that. Thank you. It's just like a blanket. Like, it just drapes over me. And it's serious. Oh, I looked so good when I went out, too. I'm glad none of the neighbors came out. I'm in a poncho / blanket, whatever this is. I have my workout pants on. And then I had my fake looking Ugg boots because I'm too poor for real Uggs, but you know what they look like. So that's what I looked like. I was out walking the dog. If I'm out after dark walking the dog, chances are you probably shouldn't come up and talk to me because you don't want to see all this. Kane, will you sit down? Are you kidding? You can't see him right now, but do you know what he just did? He just came over here, laid down beside me, and wiggled his little body underneath my poncho. Because he's cold. Are you kidding? Such a baby. I swear, he's worse than a kid. Oh my goodness. You're lucky I like you a little bit. You're lucky I like you a little bit. I'm telling you, oh my gosh. I really do love this dog. He's getting older. Like, I looked at him the other morning and I'm like, oh honey, he is showing his age so bad. Stop pushing your nose on me because it's cold. He really is. I'm pretty sure in February he'll be 11. Kane, come on, you need to move because you are cold. And you're making me cold. Go back into your... He's got his nose in my butt right now. He's so funny. You're crazy. So I'm pretty sure he'll be 11 in February. I have to ask my husband, but I'm pretty sure it's either 10 or 11 he will be. But he's getting all gray and like you can just see, like, when you look in his eyes, like sometimes his eyes look sad and old, like, we got this dog, and he literally weighed 4 pounds. He could fit in the palm of my hand. I was at work one day, and this little girl come in, and she's like, oh, I just bought my son a dog, and he's so cute, and I gotta take this off. She's like, oh, he's so cute. No, you're not getting it. He's so cute and lovable and blah, blah, blah. And she's showing me pictures, and it's just this little black puff ball. Like, he looked adorable. Like, it looked like one of those puff balls, those puff ball keychains you get and hook to the outside of your purse. That's what he looked like. And I just fell in love with him. I'm like flipping through her pictures, and I was not, at this point, I was not a dog lover. I didn't care for dogs. That was just me. I just was not a dog. I mean, I didn't like hate dogs, but I didn't love dogs. You know what I mean? So anyway, I fell in love with this dog, and I'm flipping through all these pictures, and it was like 2 or 3 days later, she come in and she was all sad. And she was like, oh, my landlord found out I have a dog, and I'm not allowed to have a dog, and the landlord told me it's either me or it's the dog, and yada, yada, yada. What do? I gotta get rid of the dog, blah, blah, blah. And it just so happened that my husband was picking me up from work that day at 2 o'clock, and her boyfriend was picking her up from work that day. And I'm like, oh, have him bring the dog, and let's introduce him to my husband and see what he thinks, because I just knew from these pictures, like, he was adorable. Like, I fell in love through this picture, you know? So anyway, Sonny and this guy, I see them outside of the window. They pull in at the same time, and I see this guy gets out of the car, and he's holding this little black puff ball in his hand, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I can't even, like, there wasn't even a word. Like, I had to have this thing. So as soon as we get off work, we run outside. I take this little poof ball in my arms, and I'm like, I love him. I want him right now. I will take him. And Sonny's like, oh my gosh, he's adorable. Like, yes, we will definitely take him. And she's like, okay. He was the runt of the litter, so he's a little smaller. Because I said to her, is he even able to come away from his mother? Because he was so small. And we didn't know anything about dogs. Nothing. We were never really dog owners, you know. And she's like, oh, yeah, he was just the runt of the litter, so he's real small. And she said, but he had all of his first sets of shots. We took him to his first vet appointment. He went to this vet right here. My dad is actually the one that took him. So my dad put it on his credit card. My dad's name is da-da-da-da-da. So if you call that vet, she's like, because I don't know what I did with the papers, but if you call that vet, they can confirm that this dog has been here and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. And it was like a Thursday, I think, that we got him, because I wasn't in a big hurry to call the vet because he had already had all his shots and whatnot. So I think it was like on a Thursday. Come Monday, we have this dog. We're loving on this dog. Like, everybody's coming out. The family's coming over to see the dog, and, you know, our new addition, and we're just loving on him. And come Monday, the kids are getting ready for school, and I'm getting ready for work, and I'm upstairs in the bathroom putting makeup on, and Sarah yells up the steps, and she's like, Mom, the dog is pooping out worms all over the living room floor. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? So I go running downstairs, and I, like, literally strings of, it was a mess. So my husband and I get everything cleaned up, and we put him in a box. As soon as it got like at 9 o'clock, we had to wait until they opened or something. My husband calls the vet, gets an appointment, we get in. This dog has never been seen at this vet. I'm like, yes, he has. And it's under this name. And no, we never seen that guy here before. We have no clue who he is. I said, okay, well, what about the girl's name? The girl's name is, nope. Never been here. So I text this girl, and I'm like, "Are you what vet was the dog at?" "Oh, he was at da 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 vet." That's where I was standing. I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So we get Kane all fixed up. We've got some shots going. We get the worms taken care of. I think he had to be on medicine or something at that point for a while. But then I kept, even though we had had all the shots done and they said that this dog was, so they just went ahead and did it because this dog had never been seen. So we had all of his records. We had his shots records and everything. I go back to work and I'm like, "Hey, I need those papers. Is there any way, do you know where those papers?" "No, I'm not real sure, but I'll keep looking for them. I'll keep looking for them," she says. Well, I yet to see those papers. Months down the road, and this was just hearsay, I had heard through the grapevine she got another dog and had him for a little bit. I don't know how she got away with it with the landlord, but anyway, she had him for a little bit, and she left the dog in a cage, went back. I don't know how long she was gone, but the dog had worms so bad that they had eaten their way out and something like that, and it was bad, and it killed the dog anyway. So I was told that she was turned in, and so I don't know whatever happened to her. I don't know the story behind it, but I think if I wouldn't have taken this little black puffball, who knows what would have happened to him, you know. And I'm so glad we did, because like I said, I was never a dog lover. I didn't care for dogs. I didn't like dogs. I just wasn't. But then it was like, we got this little guy, and like, he just melts my heart, and he still doesn't. And I'm telling you, like, we had Sarah and Scott, which were like older teenagers, you know. They were teenagers when we got Kane. He was so good with them. He was so good, like, with friends' kids. There was, when it came time that we had grandchildren, he was awesome with the grandkids. And then when we had Mason, he has always been like the grandkids and Mason's best friend. Like, they're best friends. They definitely are. And he's so good with them. And it's so gross. Like, my grandson, when he was little, he was a toddler just walking around, and, you know, he'd be carrying around his french fries or whatever he's eating. So gross. He would give Kane a bite, and then he would take a bite, and then give Kane a bite, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, like, this needs to stop. I love you to death, but that's disgusting. But they just always, and I have some awesome pictures of all of the kids with him, and so he really has been an awesome dog. He used to be my lap dog. He would lay across my legs. He would lay going this way with his nose here while we were sitting in the recliner. And then when I got pregnant with Mason, I don't know what happened to my body, but like, he was just laying here with his head up on me, and so his fur, he was leaning on my arm. Like, my arm, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but it has all these little red bumps, and it will have all these little red bumps until I get up and go wash my hands and my arms. For some reason, I am so allergic to him. But, I mean, it would be one thing if, like, Mason was allergic to him, then I would have to do something, probably find him a different home, and I would hate that. It would tear me up. But, you know, you do what you have to do for a kid. But for me, I'll just keep eating allergy pills. You know, I just deal with it because I do love him. And I feel bad because, of course, he gets enough love from the kids and from my husband, and, you know, he gets all kinds of attention. But it is bad because there was one point in his life that he was Mom's dog, and he would love on me, and he would snuggle on me. I was pregnant with Mason, and I have pictures of him sitting right here, his back toward my arm, so he was sitting like a human, and then he would have his paw across my stomach, because it was like he knew that there was a baby in there. Like, you know, I mean, he's been such a sweet dog and such a good dog, and I just love him to death. So I love him so much. He's a pain in the butt, but I love that pain in the butt. He's a good old dog, huh? Yeah. He went, like, hello, do you see me trying to fall asleep now? He's so bad. He used to sleep with Sonny and I before, this was before Mason. He would jump up in the bed and we would allow it. And I don't know why we ever did that. But he would put his feet on my back and he would put his back on Sonny's back. And he would stretch like this until Sonny and I both on each side of the bed had like this much. And I had just gotten to the point where I'm like, I can't sleep like this anymore. Like, it's the dog or it's the wife. What are you going to do? What are you going to pick? He probably wanted to be like, it's the dog. But I'm like, no, he can't do it. So we had to break him from, like, I'm starting to itch right now. We had to break him from getting up on the bed. Now he's not allowed on any furniture. And even though it's been a long time since he's been allowed on furniture, he still, like, gives you that look, you know, like, it's really cold on the floor, you know, even though he's got beds and he's got a pillow and he's got a blanket and, you know, he's just a big baby. He's spoiled. He's spoiled rotten. But we love him, and I guess this wasn't even going to be, this was going to just be a chat with me video, but it turned into a little story time, didn't it, Kane? I can feel myself getting all stuffy and yucky. No. But that happens. I mean, I don't know why it is, but as long as it's just me, I will deal. Like I said, I hope it never happens like with Mason, because I don't know that I could, you know, get rid of this. I don't know that I could give him to someone, you know, because he's our baby. He is. He only weighs, like, every time we take him, he like, sometimes he loses weight, sometimes he'll gain weight. It just depends. And like his weight always like fluctuates, like, you know, like a good 8 pounds, you know, 6 to 8 pounds. But he's always like in the higher 40s, like he's almost 50 pounds. But he feels like when he jumps on you, he feels like he weighs 150 pounds. Like he's like built, like he's strong. So, but he was the runt. So, and people ask like, oh, what kind of dog do you have? And we'll say we have a black lab mix, and they'll be like, a black lab mix? What is he? Because he looks exactly like a black lab, but what is he mixed with? I'm like, we have no clue. Like, I don't know. There's kind of a little bit in me that wants to say that it might be Pit, just because, like, his face to me, like, if you look at his face and study his face, he kind of has that muscly tone to his face. I mean, I don't know dogs, like, so I really don't know. Our vet said that he really has no clue. So I don't know. I've kind of thought he's such a pig because he eats so much. So, and he has always eaten so much. Like, he's a huge eater. And so I call him a pig all the time. And then when we go outside, he'll start sniffing and he'll go, yeah. And so when people ask like what he is mixed with, I'm like, well, he's part lab and part pig. And you know, I have had a handful of people be like, really? I'm like, seriously? Come on. Stop it. You are making this joke way funnier than really what it is. Oh, but he's a good old dog, and I'm glad he's my old dog. Huh, baby? So, I think I just heard a toy go off all by itself. So freaky. I hate when that does that. In the middle of the night, I'll be laying in bed, and I'll hear like, hey, this is Elmo. And I'm like, stop. You have got to stop that. Like, that is crazy. I hate that. Because then it's like, Okay, do you move, or do you go shut it off, or do you just stay right under your blanket? Oh well. Oh well, I guess I better end the video because I'm sure it's a long one by now. I didn't mean for it to be a little story, but so I'll go ahead and go for. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much. I think. Hold on, let me check. Let me check real quick. I know I just said I wanted to end it because it's getting long. We are at 105 subscribers. Yay! So I told you guys before that once we hit 100 subscribers that I would talk to you guys about a giveaway that I will plan. I'm not going to do that now because like I said, I know this is already long, and my daughter says your videos are too long. So I'm going to go ahead and stop for now, and I love you guys. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see you in our next video. Later, Gators.